Today we come to Zhejiang city of Sichuan province, where Sichuan University of Science and Engineering is located. I will reveal to you why universities around the world have in succession chosen to transform their whole campus network with all optical network solution. The first question, why choose optical network? This is Huidong campus of Sichuan University of Science and Engineering. Take the laboratory building of the university as an example. There are 126 classrooms in the building. If each room has 2 information points, there will be 252 information points which shall require 252 network cables for network connection. That is a big figure. You can see the dense network cables behind me. It is difficult to find the fault point in time once there is a problem. If new information points need to be added, the common way is to add a hub manually, but the network speed will also slow down, and there will be a risk of looping, which will affect the normal operation. Once a higher bandwidth is needed for teaching affairs, the existing Cat6a copper cables cannot support the higher bandwidth demand. The only thing you can do is to connect additional network cables from the ELV rooms to the classrooms. In addition, the university is located in Zhejiang City, an ancient city known for salt production. The climate there is humid, and the moisture and chlorine content in the air are relatively high. Due to these factors, the network cables deployed 3 years ago are already found with some corroded and rusted connectors and patina visible to naked eyes. This will make network cables less efficient in data transmission or even out of use. The university had to check and replace the existing connectors. It can be seen that the use of coppered cables will lead to ever-growing costs of devices and labor force. For the university, all optical network solution may be the best solution to these problems. Let's take a look at how the new campus solves these problems by deploying Huijia's Simplified Optical Ethernet solution. This is the Libei campus of Sichuan University of Science and Engineering with a total land area of 3.4 square kilometers, including student dormitory, student canteen, laboratory building, library, College of Fine Arts, College of Music, sport field, and grand theater, which can meet the requirements of teaching 15,000 students in the university. The whole campus is equipped with all optical networks. Let's first take a tour at the multimedia teaching building. There are 5 floors and 130 classrooms in the building, including multimedia and computer classrooms. A classroom usually has 6 information points, and a multi-rate simplified optical Ethernet switch is deployed in each classroom to ensure the communication of all information points in the classroom. There are 780 information points in the classrooms of the whole building, but only 130 optical fiber cable are used in the cable trays. The number of information points increases by 3 times, and optical fibers save more than 50% of cabling space compared with copper cables. It is worth mentioning that the basic raw material of optical fiber is silicon dioxide or sand, which is resistant to rust and corrosion, and will hardly be replaced due to oxidation and other problems during its service life cycle. Deployment at a time, no worries in 10 years. Compared with the conventional Ethernet solution, the deployment of optical fiber links plus the SOE indoor switches can reduce the comprehensive cost by more than 20%. Now let's find out the answer to the second question, how stable will the teaching affairs be after connecting optical fibers into the rooms? There are many teaching scenarios in the campus. With the deepening use of IT applications, the teaching affairs require a higher bandwidth, which needs to reach gigabit or higher. There are usually 2 ways to use the teaching network in the campus. One is to access teaching resources through the internet, and the other is to share files between teachers and students through the local area network. Take this computer classroom as an example. There are 56 terminals, each of which occupies 20 to 30 megabits per second of bandwidth. When the terminals access the external network at the same time, the required bandwidth needs to reach 1.2 Gbps or 1.8 Gbps. However, other all-optical solutions on the market are limited by optical splitting. Taking the splitting ratio of 1:8 as an example, the average bandwidth of each classroom is only about 300 megabits per second, which will cause network delay. Moreover, data of adjacent ONUs is forwarded on one OLT port, which can easily result in the bottleneck of horizontal traffic forwarding performance. Then, can Huijia's Simplified Optical Ethernet solution pass the test in the same teaching scenario? Let's start the test. We can see that the current download rate of the external network approaches 1000 megabits per second, indicating that a true gigabit bandwidth is accessible to each classroom. In addition, in an internal data sharing scenario within the campus, the transmission rate can also be close to gigabit. Next, let's select 2 computers to test. As you can see, it only takes 20 seconds to transfer a 2 GB file. With the 3-layer Ethernet architecture, the simplified optical Ethernet solution can well support the internal forwarding of data, bringing an experience of rapid internal resource sharing to teachers and students. The very reason that Huijia's simplified optical Ethernet solution can provide such a smooth network experience is the small box in front of us. It is an indoor switch specially designed for this solution. Compared with other switches, it is small in size and equipped with changeable mounting brackets that facilitate flexible indoor mounting. Up to now, you may have a question: will the increased number of indoor switches lead to a heavier workload of O&M management? Within a campus, the construction is divided into several parts. Other systems can gradually go online only after the basic network is connected. The core equipment room is the last step. How to improve the deployment efficiency with so many devices? What is the conventional way to do so? Let's see how the zero configuration deployment is achieved. Simplified Optical Ethernet solution supports interconnection with the SDN controller, which implements zero configuration and plug and play all the way from the initial deployment to the routine O&M and replacement of devices. Even non-professional O&M personnel can do the job. Let's see how zero configuration deployment is achieved. It is clear that on the SDN user interface, the newly deployed SOE switch has been connected to the network. The deployment time is shortened by 95% and the efficiency is greatly improved compared with the conventional way. In routine O&M, when the network fails, don't worry. We can check the links and devices on the SDN controller to determine the fault point. Simplified Optical Ethernet solution only needs 3 steps to complete zero configuration replacement. After the replacement, the network is restored. What if the O&M personnel forget the port location? The solution also supports port auto-sensing function. O&M personnel don't even need to remember the specific port location, and they can get the network back to normal by inserting a network cable into any port. Well, today's tour of Simplified Optical Ethernet solution in Sichuan University of Science and Engineering is coming to an end. I believe that the neat and orderly network cable trays, ultra-fast network experience, and automatic O&M management here have impressed you. If you are interested, contact Huijia Networks.